Very good day, students. In the lecture series of manufacturing and measurement techniques, we will discuss the next part. Previously, we have discussed about casting and welding. In this particular lecture series, we will be discussing about mechanical working of metals. Manufacturing can be divided into four major categories. So, one is metal addition process. Casting and welding comes under this metal addition process, that is creating new metal or materials. And then is material removal process, where material can be reshaped to the required function. And then is quality enhancement process, where the quality of material will be improved. And then finally assembly. So these are the four major categories in any manufacturing process. So mechanical working of metals is improving the quality of the material. Initially, all metals are formed from casting process. First, you have to refine the metal from the ore, or you have to recycle the already available metal. So that can be done by melting the metal. Once metal is melted, it has to be made into certain shape. Either it can be made into required shape directly, or we can use some process to change the structure of the material. So that's the way we can do manufacturing process. Sorry, metalworking process. So what happens in the metalworking process is we are improving the functionality of the metal. Material which is made from casting process, typically it is brittle in nature. If you, for example, any part you take which is manufactured using casting, will be brittle in nature. Sudden load or sudden shock is applied on the material, it will break. So that's an undesirable quality. And similarly, the bending strength, torsional strength of the parts which are manufactured using casting process will also be low, which are undesirable properties because metals mostly are used in load bearing applications where sudden shock and bending and twisting are prone. So if the material cannot withstand these forces, then it cannot be used in load bearing applications. To overcome these disadvantages, we are going for mechanical working of metals. So as the name indicates, here metal is being worked in order to get into a required properties. So it is like how we do workout or exercise to improve our fitness. So initially, if you are sedentary, what happens is that your muscles will be loose and your stamina or endurance will be low. When you start working out, what happens is that you slowly start to build your endurance and then your muscle mass starts to grow. So then you will feel more adequate to do your day-to-day activities. So your strength will improve. Same thing happens to metal also. When you work the metal, its property enhances. So how it is done, we will see in the upcoming lecture videos. So metalworking can be broadly classified into two major categories. One is hot working and another one is cold working. So I have just given the introduction. We will discuss in detail about the hot working and cold working process in the upcoming lecture videos. So this is the metal forming process which we discussed. So metal forming, there are two major categories. One is bulk deformation and another one is sheet metal working. So under bulk deformation, it can be further classified into hot working and cold working. So based on the force applied or equipment used, the bulk deformation process can be classified into rolling process, forging process, extrusion, and wire drawing process. And similarly, sheet metal working can be classified into bending, cutting, shearing, and other processes. Based on the type of tool used and type of load used, we can classify the metalworking process. Just to give you a quick recap, what we discussed in this particular lecture. We discussed about the metalworking process and the need for metalworking process. The need for metalworking process is to enhance the quality of the material so that it produces the desired output. So it can be classified into two major categories: hard deformation, hard working, and cold working. We'll further discuss these topics in the upcoming lecture videos. Thank you, students.